Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to tonight's performance of Only an Excuse. As is customary in this theatre, would you now please be upstanding for the national anthem?
We hate Jimmy Hill, he's a poof, he's a poof. We hate Jimmy Hill, he's a poof, he's a poof. We hate Jimmy Hill, he's a poof, he's a poof.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Tonight's performance will now kick off.
I have a dream that one day this nation will rise up and live out the meaning of its creed. That all players are created equal, but some get paid more than others. I have a dream today. I have a dream that one day the supporters of this beautiful game will be judged not by the colour of their scarves, but by the content of their carry-out bags. I have a dream today. I have a dream that one day the ethnic cleansing of our language will cease, the verbal atrocities will abate, and the grammatical terrors, what they have brunged into our mediums, will be mollicated. I have a dream today. I have a dream that football of the people, for the people, by the people, shall not perish from this earth, but will only be available on Sky TV. I have a dream today. I have a dream today. I have a dream today. I have a dream today.
We played 2 minutes of injury time in this, the 18th World Cup final. The match official, Clive Brooks from England, and what a match he's had. Looks at his watch, and that's it. It's all over. The final score, Scotland 3, the mighty Albania 2, which means Scotland are World Cup champions again.
Body Scotland, body Scotland, we'll support you evermore. We'll support you evermore. Ho, ho, ho! Yes! I can't believe it. I just can't believe it. We've done it in 1998. We've done it in 2002. And here we know went and done it again in 2006. It's pure magical. I know. Imagine Scotland winning a World Cup for the 3rd time in a row. Oh, pure ecstatic song. Me too. In fact, I'm so happy. I think I'm going to greet. All right, it's me. I'm all right now. I've had my wee great. I'm fine as well. Oh, it's funny when you think about it all the same, though, eh? I mean, Scotland make us great now because they win everything. But it's not that long ago they used to make us great because we were always getting gubbed. Gloriously, of course.
Ah, but that was back in the bad old days. That's when Scotland were the only country in the world that used to cite in the opposition.
No anymore, though, no anymore. Now they fear us. Like the Trojans feared the Greeks, like the Normans feared the Vikings, like the Daleks feared a staircase.
And it's not just for international reputation it's benefiting. I mean, look at the benefits it's benefited the domestic game.
Benefits? Like what? The only thing that would benefit our league is a laxative. It's constipated. It needs some movement. I mean, come on. 12 league championships in a row. Partick Thistle's domination is ruining the game.
Well, I said it at the time, and I'll say it again. Scottish football will rue the day that they allowed Silvio Berlusconi to buy the Jags.
I suppose it's up to the other teams to mount a serious challenge.
Like who, for instance?
Well, what about the big two?
Nah, Berwick will fall away. And Montrose always bottle it against the Jags.
Rangers?
Nah, they'll never do anything. Not with that signing policy of theirs.
Hey, come on, that's on the past. After all, this is the year 2006, and Rangers have said they will sign a Scottish Protestant. If they can find one that's good enough.
Ah, well, I'll believe it when I see it. But I'll tell you something. I think Celtic could surprise a few people this year. I think they could win something.
Like what?
Promotion. And that would be a big boost for Tommy Burns in the year that the people of Kilmarnock finally lifted the contract on him.
I suppose we could turn our back in the senior game and follow the junior teams like Kilwin and Rangers, the Waynes of William, Glen Afterheads and Auchinleck Bamport.
Nah, the junior game's never been the same. No, since they made it compulsory for the players to wear crash helmets.
I think the authorities overreacted with that ruling.
Well, the chairman of the disciplinary committee felt there was no place in the modern game for a lack of discipline. And what Mr. Charles Charnley says goes.
It's amazing when you think about it all this saying. I mean, Scotland dominating world football.
Not just the world, Europe as well. Hey, do you remember the very first time we won the European Championships? Way back in 1996. Beat England 7-6 in the final at Wembley. After being 6-0 down at half-time.
So, do you think that was when Scottish football underwent the revolution that made it what it is today? Like the best in the world?
No, that was 1994.
1994? So, what was significant about that year? I mean, anything out of the ordinary happened? Anything totally unbelievable?
Hibs beat Hearts.
Any political turmoil?
The Monklands by-election.
Any religious turmoil?
Yeah, the Monklands by-election.
And what about the media? Was it them that led the Scottish football revolution back in 1994?
Well, there's one way to find out. One. Donnelly here. Hello and welcome to a very hushed, a very depressed Hampden Park. Well, the fans have now gone off to ponder, to reflect and to throw stones at each other's buses. After a totally forgettable Scottish Cup final, it really was rubbish, wasn't it, Chick?
Diggy,
Only I'm not laughing because this was, make no bones about it, a total tragedy for Scottish football. Because if teams don't start lying down to Glasgow Rangers, Murray's mighty Mazongas will become Italian and join the Italian League, or become Bundies and join the Bundesliga. And that will be the end of the road for Scottish football.
So you think they will leave en masse, Chick?
Hold on, Dougie. I never said anything about them all becoming Catholics.
But let's not take anything away from Dundee United, though. Bugger it, let's take everything away from Dundee. I mean, Rangers really just handed it to them, didn't they, Chick?
Absolutely. In a total sense, Dougie, and casting no blame or pointing no finger at anyone in particular, Davy McPherson should be shot! Bayoneted, hung up, drawn and quartered and fed to the crows. Or even worse, sold back to Hearts.
And Craig Brewster's goal, Chick. Now, surely that could have been disallowed for offside. Dangerous play, well, at the very least, unsportsmanlike behaviour.
Not only that, Dougie, but when Christian Daly knocked the ball across the goal, he was definitely interfering with destiny. But for my money, the goal should have been disallowed on the grounds that Ali Maxwell wasn't ready.
And what about the referee, Chick? Douglas Hope?
Douglas Hope, rhymes with Pope, rest my case, Dougie.
That's quite disturbing, Chick. And all the more remarkable to think that that sort of thing can go unchecked. What is, after all, don't forget, a Protestant country. And talking of which, I think we can go over now to Walter Smith. Can we? No, we can't. Chick, yes, we can. Well, Walter Smith is with no one.
Obviously, I'm particularly disappointed. In particular, with the result at the present moment. Particularly in view of the fact that it ended the dream of a historic double treble, which we weren't even thinking about. Obviously, I don't think this is particularly the time to criticise the team, and particularly to be suggesting that they're finished. Particularly as they've still got some great players at Castle Grayskull. When he's on his game, Richard Gough is a world beater. When he's on the bevy, David Robertson's a panel beater.
Walter, heartfelt sympathies from all of us here at the BBC Sports Department. The wreath is on its way.
Thanks, Dave.
Well, Walter Smith is ever putting a brave smile on the face of an unjust defeat. But what about the man of the moment, the hero of the day? I'm sure he's got something to say, and I'm sure we want to hear it. But sadly, we can't find Coisty, so... Here's Chick with Ivan Golak.
Yes, Dougie, this is totally me, far out Chick Young, inviting you to tune in, turn on, and drop out of your chair in total astonishment. Because this is the dawning of the age of Unitedness. The times they are a changing room, and this tangerine dream is no bad trip for the man floating up from the floor right now, Ivan Golak.
Hey, Chico, chill out. Easy taking, huh? Look at the flowers. Oh, those colors, so beautiful. You know, look around you. Life is, you know, for to enjoy and to win things, you know, because let me tell you, there's nothing to beat the sweet smell of success. Unless it's a sweet smell of a wacky bucky.
Ivan, what do you recall about the goal that won Dundee United the cup?
I remember Christian Daly, he chased back for a ball that's loose, yeah? Then I come across goal and a giant psychedelic giraffe knocking into a goal.
Ivan, once again, congratulations, and thanks for ruining Cup final day for everyone in the Scottish media, except for Hugh Keevins, Davy Provan, and of course, Dougie Donnelly's son, Dick.
Yes, Dick Donnelly here. At a rather delirious, delightful, fan-dabby-dozy, drunken stushy. In a normally dreich, duur, dull, dire, deadly Dundee. Where I'm sure Golak's gallus glories will be really rubbing this victory into the faces of Teesside rivals, Duffy's, Dens Park, Diddies. In a light-hearted way, of course. There have been rumours of a Canadise tiff between Ivan Golak and Jim McLean, and I'm sure Ivan's cup final record, 1 win out of 1 appearance, will be compared with Jim's hee-haw out of 6. The next time they're having a square go in a light-hearted way, of course.
Who's a clever Dick, then? You must be very proud of your boy, Dougie.
Proud's not the word, Chick. Is it? Yes, it is. No, it isn't, but never mind. Let's chase away those cup final true blues with a quick look back at last season where there was just so much happening. Was it? No, there wasn't. Yes, there was. No, yes, well. Broadwood Stadium at Cumbernauld has 2 clubs playing there now, and when you consider that not so long ago there was only some old coos walking about the park, well, it's perhaps not so remarkable that Airdrie feel quite at home there. And trendy Ayr United boss Simon Steinrod grew a beard. I suppose if you're going to act the goat, you might as well look like one. While Celtic collapsed by instalments in a catalogue of disasters.
A catalogue indeed, Dougie. The board made an Argos of it. And to see this once proud club so well and truly in the grubber, highlight of the season for me, Dougie.
Yes, but things had to change at Celtic Park, Chick, and, well, sadly, perhaps they did. Bringing to an end a great tradition of dithering dogma and devout paranoia.
The Berlin Wall had fallen. Communism had collapsed, and soon the last great bastion of intransigence would also crumble. The wind of change blowing through Celtic Park caused a rift. The families fell out. The Minging dynasties lost their grip. Morale had, in the past, dropped lower than David Syme's trousers. But now, as a new dawn beckoned, players past and present felt the need to become involved and make their viewpoint clear. Danny McGrain wasn't one of them.
It was unbelievable. Horrible. Terrible. Miserable. And any other ibbles you care to mention. But now I think it's time to give Lou Macari some support and not be too critical of the fact that he took 2 canteen women with him on a trip to Ireland. After all, he'd tried everybody else in the centre of defence. Of course, it's easy for me to say what I think. But it must have been difficult for players who are still playing for Celtic, and Charlie Nicholas too, who spoke out secondly as a Celtic supporter, but firstly as a player facing his daughters. But that's all in the past now, and I'm sure all Celtic supporters now are more optimistic, and I think that's all down to one man. That's the bank manager who says they're getting no more money. But Brian Dempsey done a good job too.
What we have today is a situation of we are not quite sure, for the purpose of who knows what, in the realms of where, when, and why. But what I do know is who, and that who is him. My great wee mate, Fergus McCann, who prepared thoroughly for his coming to Celtic Park. He spent 2 months in the Coatbridge time capsule. So, without further ado, let's meet Fergus, because I know there are a load of questions stotting around about the wee man, like how long will he be here, how much will he invest, and when is he going to get a bonnet that fits him?
A McCann's got to do what a McCann's got to do. And as from today, the Celtic manager is no longer Mr. Luigi Macari. Now, regarding a replacement, we have a number of people in mind. Now, Tommy Burns strikes me as a first-class candidate for the job. But obviously, he's contracted to Kilmarnock, so it would be unethical for me to suggest to him to pack in his job and come and work for us. So, if you're listening, Tom, please ignore this statement. My mobile number is 1888 7171 71.
In the end, Fergus didn't sing the blues because, surprise, surprise, Tommy returned to the tick while Killy faced the stark reality that Billy was off too. But in football, the dust never settles in a story until it's going for 50 pence at bargain books. There are 2 sides to every tale, and just as every dog has its day, Every ex-director has its publishing deal. Michael Kelly's account of the end of Timolization as he knew it promised to be a book with lots of words in it and worthy of serious intellectual discussion.
Good afternoon, Bob Crampsey here, and welcome to the Sports Sound. Now, I've just been speaking to Michael Kelly, who was expounding a theory that Robert Burns was rubbish, and that the only reason folk go on about him is because he was a Masonic parody. While I was waxing lyrical about the sheer poetic poetry and almost balletic beauty of another of Scotland's sons. But I'm prepared to accept that Crawford Baptist isn't everyone's idea of a footballer. And nor, perhaps, is Michael Kelly everyone's idea of an author, but I have an awful feeling we're about to find that out.
Paradise Lost, $10.99 from all good bookstores, by Dr. Michael Kelly, aged 46 and a half. What? Though the field be lost, all is not lost. The unconquerable will and study of revenge, immortal hate, and courage never to submit or yield. I quipped to Jack McGinn as he brought in my tea that spring morning. Better to reign in hell than serve in heaven, rasped Tom Grant, as he realised there were no green-wrappered penguins left in the barrel. Suddenly, the door burst open, and I was confronted by the cousin from hell, Kevin, Mad Dog, Kelly.
Michael, a fair-billed thorn.
He blasted. But why, Kevin? I mused rationally. Is there something untoward?
Oh, Mike, look at the books. We're in a shambles. Oh, please sort out the mess we're in and lead us all into a bright new future. You're the only man for the job. Man for the job. Man for the job.
As all the others agreed with Kevin, I felt humbled, but resolved not to let my humility get in the way of my duty, nay, my destiny, to lead this club into a glorious epoch. It was then that I told Michelle Pfeiffer to away and give peace.
Thanks, Michael. Sounds fascinating. Must remember to forget to get a copy. But moving on from a petty boy to a pretty boy, Gordon Smith is with Jim Baxter.
Jim, looking great, feeling like $1 million, but enough about me. How are you?
I feel great, marvellous. I got my first kidney on the Friday, then I got another one on the Sunday. Wee Jimmy said, by God, you must have thanked some amount of bevy on the Saturday night.
Is that right, Jim? What the shag?
But Kenneth, see if I could go back to the beginning again. The first thing I'd do is I'd get myself an agent.
May I be allowed to speak? Nick Murdo here. The bill. And the first thing I would say is that agenting is all about looking after players. Like recently, when I had to confront the unacceptable face of Scottish football, Stevie Fulton. In securing this player's move to Falkirk, I performed 2 acts of kindness. Stevie's pace takes some of the pressure off the midfield, and Stevie's face takes some of the pressure off Yogi Hughes. But from one Billy boy to another, they'll be laughing in the streets of Wraith at Jiminy Nicol.
Come here, there's more. Now, come here, there's more. Have you heard about Craig Brown? Craig Brown, the manager of Scotland. When he heard Scotland were playing the Faroes, he flew out on a spying mission to Egypt. No, come here, there's more. What about Helen Little? Helen Little, the MP, she's complaining to the Vatican about the strength of the Buckfast wine. But sure, they'll do nothing. That's the only method of contraception they'll allow. No, come here. There's more. No, come here. There's more. Lorena Bobbitt, Radio Clyde have hired her to take charge of their phone in. They've heard she's good at cutting off pricks. There's no more.
But ultimately, the joke is on us. We stand on the shoreline of sanity, watching our hopes and dreams carried on the crest of a radio wave, crashing against the rambling rocks of the irrational, as every week, without fail, we dial FM for murder.
This is Craig Brown.
Hello, Mark Gately here.
Hello, I'm Paul McStay.
Hi, Richard Goff here. John f***ing Lambie speaking. I'm on the go.
This is Alan Christ, MBE.
Hello, my name is, what gives a clue then? Duncan Ferguson.
All the big names are on Clyde. And Hugh Keevan.
In my opinion, and I stress it is only an opinion, the problem lies not with the league setup, not with the press, not with the much maligned media in which I myself include me, and not, and I repeat, not with the wee boys who say, "Can I watch your motor, mister?" No, for me, the problem is quite simply to be or not to be summer football. That is the question, is it not, Derek Johnson?
Well, fair dues, this is what it's all about. Well, I happen to think summer football is a bad idea, because that's when I go on my holidays.
Here, there, and so say all of me, leaving aside the snow and ice and frost and slush and rain and sleet and hailstones and blizzards and mud. You've got to ask yourself, is it really that bad? Dick Donnelly.
Well, I hold the view that it would make, sadly, not one bit of difference, because these conditions Chick has just described is typical of Dundee's summer weather anyway. Isn't that right, Davy Provan?
Hello, Dick. Well, Chick. Yes, Derek. Too true, Hugh. Davy Provan here. If it was only those conditions Chick described, then it would probably be okay, but there's fog as well. I remember last season being at a Celtic Aberdeen match when the fog was so thick, Archie McPherson couldn't see what was happening. Therefore, his commentary didn't make any sense. So, no change there. And talking of change, there have certainly been plenty of those down south of the border, down Liverpool way.
Goal! Bristol City 1, Liverpool 0. What now for Graham Souness?
Can I just say something here? Yeah, for sure. It was difficult, but I've reached the conclusion that the best thing for the club is if I abdicate. My thoughts may change, but right now, I just want to get as far away from football as possible. So yes, there is some foundation to the rumour that I'm thinking of buying Hearts.
Davy, that is a shocker.
Derek, that is a quality shocker. Now, I know there were those who found Graham Souness arrogant, smug, big-headed, self-centred, proud almost beyond belief, and in it only for himself, but I totally disagree with that. I never found him smug. In the meantime, let's bring in Graham's friend and rival, Alex Ferguson.
As a football manager myself, I take no pleasure in seeing another manager, or Graham Souness, lose his job. Some people say it was wrong to leave Rangers. But he'd made too many enemies in Scotland, so he had to move south to make some enemies down there as well. Okay, so things certainly went bad for him on the park, but the team's results did create a new look for Liverpool. Red socks, red shirts, red shorts, and red faces. Isn't that right, Dennis Waugh?
Well, you know, as you say, for me, the problem area for Liverpool was between the sticks, you know. The goalkeeper's position, the number 1 jersey. But to me, the only competition between Grobler and the boy James was to see who could have the stupidest hairstyle, you know. You know, as I say, I was surprised you couldn't just go out there and get a real goalkeeper, given England's great tradition of ball handlers. Well, you know, like Gordon Banks and Peter Shooton and Gerald Sinstad, you know?
But Dennis, he signed Dix.
Now, excuse me, Alex, I'm sorry, but I don't like to hear football has been referred to in that way. I'm sorry.
No, Julian Dix. He signed Julian Dix from West Ham.
Of course he did, yes, yeah, he did. He signed Dix to stiffen the defence and he signed Ruddock to stiffen everybody else, you know. But for me, you know, what they lacked up front, in the middle of the back four, was a schemer, you know, like a Kevin Keegan on the right side, you know, like an Ian Callaghan on the left side, and a Barry Grant of the Brookside, you know. But you know, the real Graham Souness, I think you'd have to have played with him. Isn't that right, Willie Miller?
Well, I happen to think everybody's the wrong idea about Souness. I remember back in '82, the World Cup in Spain. Alan Hansen and I decided to do our bit to end the Cold War by gifting Russia a goal. Now, I knew Graham was angry at us, but he was a true professional. He never criticised us, he never slagged us, and he never spoke to us again. Did you ever witness that caring side of his nature? Kenny Dalglish?
Could be. Could no be. Maybe he's aye. Maybe we're too critical of Graham Souness. He spent something like £30 million. Okay, didn't work out. All I can say is, personally speaking, from my point of view, can't it be easy operating the transfer market with such paltry amounts of money?
Well, I'm sorry to interrupt you, Kenny. Derek Johnson here.
And to me, that's what's wrong with the game today. Irresponsible spending by lucky rich bastards has grossly inflated the transfer market. But the last word has to go with Graham Souness.
Yeah, for sure. It was a tough time for me, but the Daily Record shows I took the blows and did it my way. Regrets? Well, I've had a few. Rangers? Well, my entire time spent there will probably always come down to that one signing and all the ugliness it caused. But to this day, I stick by my decision to bring Davy Dodds to Ibrox. The future? Well, I've had time to think, time to mellow. And yeah, for sure, I'm a changed man. Because Kipling was right. You've got to treat success and failure the same. Studs in the shins, early doors, they never bother you again.
So the leopard can't change its stripes after all. Graham Souness switches from crippling to Kipling. Different class. I like an exceedingly good cake myself.
The Reds showed no mercy to their once proud war chief. Now the media tribe moved off to ambush settlers in the soccer frontier, to wipe out wagon trains of would-be wonder boys. The tactics never changed. The war cry never wavered. Bury my heart at Wounded McNee. White man speak with forked tongue.
Hi, Jim White here, and you've just made the best possible start to match day by tuning in to Scott Sport Extra Wine. Okay, hit me with those exclusives, Jerry.
Yes, Jim. And first up, I can exclusively reveal that FIFA are set to investigate the alleged miracle properties of the new Predator football boots. It is claimed that these boots could make Aberdeen's Brian Irvine hit the ball straight.
Miracle indeed. Anything else, Jerry?
Well, it seems nothing can derail the Ibrox flute bandwagon. Now, such is their confidence that the Rangers supporters can even cope with their fanzine, the Daily Record, revealing the shock news that King Billy was gay. The resourceful Rangers faithful have simply changed their battle songs to "Hello, hello, sailor." We are the Billy Boys. The cry was "No suspenders." And the sash and matching twin set my father wore.
Go on yourself, big man. Season 93-94, closing with some classic exclusives from Jerry.
Yes. Well, looking ahead to next season, I've got some news involving Celtic's nursery club, Motherwell. Now, my sources inform me that early next season, the Parkhead club will sign the Steelmen's midfield star, Phil O'Donnell.
What a tragedy. How do you know that, Jerry?
Through my sources.
Sure, and did Darlinda tell you anything else, Jerry?
Yes, my sources. My sources said Scotland will open their European campaign with a 2-0 victory over Finland.
Big were you, Jerry? I mean... Finland are mince.
Yes, but they will beat them 2-0 away from home.
A 2-0 victory in Finland, eh? Should set us up nicely for a disaster against the Faroes, right, Jerry?
Well, unfortunately, my half-hour session with my sources was up then, Jim. So I have no idea what's going to happen. But rest assured, I will continue to make out that I do. So, watch this space.
Well done, Jerry. That needed saying. Great exclusives this week, Jerry.
Yes, well, naturally, Jim, being sports editor, I get all the big stories. But that doesn't mean there isn't a place for Paul Cooney. He'll be along with all the crappy stuff later on.
Sure. Okay, remember, keep those stupid calls coming in. The number to dial is 1690 1690 1690. And once we've got someone on the line who's comprehensible, we'll put you through to one of our panel of experts who are Davy Cooper, who used to play for Rangers, and that's good enough for me. Graham Spears of the Smart Arse on Sunday. And Donald Finlay, QC, RFC, FTP. Who is simply the best. Donald, while we're waiting for one of the lads from the office to nick outside and phone us up with a bad East Coast accent, Donald, banning the Celtic support from Ibrox, a victory for practical Presbyterianism, although you can't help but feel sorry for the ordinary decent Celtic scum. If indeed there is such a thing, Donald.
Yes, I have heard tales of such. But in my vast experience of life, the law, and the after-dinner speaking circuit, I have yet to uncover evidence of the existence of such a thing amongst the Protestantly challenged.
All the same, Donald, Celtic have protested strongly about this ban, and you have to say, how dare they?
Well, put it down to proddy intuition, Jim, but we thought they might moan and whine about it, so we did offer them an alternative solution. A way back to Rome. But you know what these people are like, Jim? Always whinging on about potato famines. And John F. Kennedy and 12 in a row.
12 in a row?
9 league championships for Celtic and 3 Eurovision Song Contests for Ireland.
Donald, you're a lawyer. You work in a courthouse. You must have met lots of baddies.
Yes, I will admit that a lot of my time was spent mixing with people of dubious morality, but, well, to be honest, Jim, if you don't mind, I'd rather not talk about the Rangers players.
Great answers. What a character. Donald Finlay, a man on the level, a man who mingles with the blue noses, the back scratchers, and the funny handshakers. And he has a job with Rangers too, Jerry.
Yes. And just for the record, I happen to think that David Murray has got it absolutely right with this ban. Now, these Neds must be stopped. There is no place in our stands for unruly, nasty, violent, foul-mouthed, loutish thuggery. Let's keep this where it belongs, on the pitch.
The voice of reason, Jerry McNee.
Yeah, and while I'm on my high horse, what about Jim Farry? Now, I can exclusively reveal that I don't like him. There is no place in Scottish football for such a homologated promulgator of verbosity.
Not only that, Jerry, but he uses big words too.
Now, make no mistake, we are living in a dictatorship. The God Farry is running football. And that can't be right. Because after all, that's my job.
Sieg Heil, Jerry. Scott Sport, Uber Alice.
Scotland, football's twilight zone, a soccer tale of mystery and the lack of imagination. Those who forget their past are destined to repeat it, and we have to come full circle only to discover that we are a circle of fools.
And welcome back. Dougie Donnelly reminding you, just in case you've joined us, that the final score in the Scottish Cup final was Dundee United 1, jammy fluky goal. And Rangers, no luck on the day. But that's not the end of football this summer, because, well, coming up next month, we've got the big one. Check, it's 14 inches and weighs 11 pounds.
Thanks very much, Dougie.
No. The World Cup, Jake. And I wonder what team from the Netherlands are you tipping to win the competition, eh?
Correct, Dougie. I'm going for the fathers of William. Yourself?
Well, I'm going for Ireland. So, good luck to Jack and the lads, and from Chick and I, have a good summer and see you soon. Good night.
Cheers. You're going for Ireland, then?
Aye, that'll be right.
They say things work in cycles. If this is true, then Scottish football's cycle is a rally chopper. Outdated, outmoded, outstandingly deficient when compared to the mountain bike mentality of the Continentals. We no longer stand at the edge of the abyss. We are the abyss. We no longer shoot ourselves in the foot. We blow our entire legs off. So, who is going to save our game? Who has the answers? out of the mouths of babes and fools, our very own fans.
Sean Lourdes. Half Scottish, half Irish, half Roman. Half-baked theories on how the Dobbs are to blame for all the world's ills. Fifth Dan altar boy. Ninja pathkeeper, also known as Shawnee, Lourdes, or by my confirmation name, Peter Grant.
Boyne Schoenberg Syme. Half Scottish, half Dutch, half and a half pint, please. Imperial Wizard, Grand Worshipful Master. Truth Defender, also known as Scourger of Thames, or by my adopted Lakota Sioux name, Dances with Flutes.
Just get back for the World Cup, so time to catch up with all the latest headlines. Following the Rod Stewart incident at Hampden Park, Kilmarnock are set to follow Celtic and introduce lookalikes to entertain their fans. They hope to introduce this development when Celtic visit Rugby Park, and are currently looking for the following lookalikes: King Billy, John Knox and Martin Luther.
Rangers are no longer interested in Alan McLaren and have targeted Prince Charles as the man to strengthen their defence. The shock move comes after Rangers European scouts saw recent photos of the Prince in a French magazine. And were very impressed with his tackle.
The radio broadcaster who had been missing since the weekend has been found, hungry but safe in Govan. Derek Johnson had gone there on Saturday to look for the big picnic.
Following the recent revelation that Celtic players have been taking tablets originally developed for horses, Albion Rovers have denied they've been taking tablets originally developed for donkeys.
Despite being dropped from the first team, Maurice Johnson has said he will fight for his place at Hearts. So he's challenged Tommy McLean to a square go.
With the successful introduction of a lookalike Elvis Presley and Rod Stewart to play to the fans, Celtic are now looking for lookalike Billy McNeils and Danny McGrains to play in their defence.
Just in case yous were wondering, I was over by supporting Ireland. Just got back, so I've got a lot of catching up to do. Although, I've got an awful feeling I've missed everything. And yet, I've missed nothing. What is the gossip? What is the hammed and roar? I'm feared to ask.
America was a rubbish place. You couldn't get a copy of the Rangers news anywhere. So naturally, I'm not quite up to date with world affairs, right? But I suppose it was worthwhile going. I mean, no just for the magic of seeing Holland gub Ireland. but also, like, for the broadening of the narrowness of my mind. Because, no, right, to be honest, right, I thought, right, what can they show us? Like, what can Gloryland teach Grubberland? Well, quite a lot as it turned out.
World Cup USA was a total unmitigated disaster for all those cynics who had confidently predicted a sock-catastrophe. For this tournament was truly a celebration of the beautiful game. The television coverage captured it all. The tension, the pressure, the breakaway, the jinking and weaving, the speed, the swerves. Then the audience get fed up with O.J. Simpson and tuned into the football. There was a new coating on the ball. What could it be? Against Holland, Pat Bonner provoked allegations it was Tefal. And then there was England's moment of glory. Maradona failed his dope test. And there to offer his expertise on drug abuse, Ali MacLeod.
Put them back! Tremendous, absolutely delighted, you know. So, somebody failed a dope test. Big deal, we done that ages ago. I mean, well, you know what I mean. Contrary to what everybody says about back then, I mean, the spirits in the Argentine were brilliant. I mean, their tequila would have blown your head off. Well, just delighted, you know. Because, I mean, as the song says, don't greet for us, Argentina. And it did, it pissed its head laughing. Well, I mean, that was then, and this is new, and, well, you have to wonder, you know, about Maradona, because that was some drugs cocktail he took, by the way. Oh, no, that's not. Although, personally speaking, I think it was a setup. I think the chemist set him up, me Dago downed him, you know. But, I mean, you know, maybe, you'd be better speaking to somebody that actually knows him, like Ozzy Ardiles.
To be perfectly honest, I know he tried drastic measures to lose weight, like exercise. But when it's not working quick enough, he start injecting lean cuisines and snorting Slim Fast, you know. To be perfectly honest, I'm very tired because I had hoped that after a good World Cup, Diego would come to England to settle down and learn the language like me and play with us at Tottenham.
Levede started to later, you know. But I mean, you know, see, for me, I mean, this is a sort of justice, you know. No, because in the past, he had benefited from the hand of God, right? But I mean, this time all he got was the 2 fingers of God.
But to be perfectly honest, remember the good things about Maradona, like when he proved to the press that he had not lost his shooting touch. With an air rifle.
I mean, me Aussies, right? It's time to remember the future, right? And that means... that means the 1996 Eurovision Championships, right? In England, would you believe? Oh, anyway, the one to watch is Group 8. That's Russia, Greece, Finland, San Marino, the Faroe Islands, and it's another one of the Diddy teams. Oh, aye, us. Of course, you know, we didn't quite make it to America, you know. But the good news is neither did England. And I hope that really pissed you off, Ray Wilkins.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, mums and dads, boys and girls, and a special mention to the old folks, especially all those still playing for Kilmarnock. Also, hello to my old mate from my days in Italy, Liam Brady. Liam, buongiorno amico, come va? Ti è piaciuto il Coppa Mondiale?
Oui, beaucoup.
Right. Now, I liked some of the developments, like the new ruling that in marginal offside decisions, the referee should favour the attacking team. Because I think it's about time the rest of the world was brought into line with Rangers. But you know, it's a big disappointment not having Scotland in the finals, because after all, we all need a good laugh now and again, don't we? I'm sure Ray Wilkins would agree.
Absolutely, and I'm sure Craig Brown would disagree.
I thought it was a bit hard to take. The thought that all Scotland had to show at this year's World Cup was, well, one referee. And I firmly believe if we apply ourselves properly, well, by the time the next World Cup comes round, well, Scotland will have 2 referees in the finals. But, I mean, would you go along with that, Dennis Law?
Would I go along with that? Would I go along with that? Well, you know, as you say, The first thing we have to look at here is I'm sorry, who did you say you were again?
Craig Brown.
Craig Brown. Craig Brown. And what is it you do, Craig?
I'm the manager of the Scotland big team.
Of course you are. Of course you are. And if there's anyone can get Scotland back to the the dizzy heights of mediocrity, it's you, Thingway.
Well, in settling for mediocrity, I think you're selling Scotland short. I think we're capable of much worse than that. But the fans will have to be patient and allow time for my 5-year plan to take effect, say about 20 years. Now, during this time, I hope to replace passion with passing and just get the players playing not with their hearts, but by using their heads. So, obviously, Duncan Ferguson has a big part to play in this.
Well, I'm sorry, but I disagree. I happen to think that Scotland play better when they played with heart in them, you know. Maybe not as good as when they played with berry in them, but, you know, as I say, you know, in my day, Scotland had quite literally, you know, thousands and thousands of flair players like Baxter and Johnson and Johnson and Baxter, you know, I mean, quite literally thousands of them, you know.
Well, for me, team spirit is the most important thing, and I was very impressed with Brazil, especially the way they held on to each other's hands as they went out to face their opponents. Of course, this is similar to a scheme that Andy Roxburgh and I pioneered as far back as 1990 in Italy, when the Scottish players held on to each other's hands as they climbed down the drain pipes of their hotel.
Well, you know, as you say, I was impressed by the Brazilians, especially the ones from Brazil. You know, as you say, you know, Brazil, 1994, they're a good side, you know, a very good side. But they're not a great side, not like the Brazilian 11 from 1970. Now, would you agree with that, Ali McLeod?
There's nothing to lead, of course. I mean, you know, but I mean, what we've got to remember, you see, is that Brazil are Brazilians, and we're no. Well, I mean, that's the reason, eh? So, despite all those salty skills, that means they can't qualify for the Eurovision Championships and we can. So, to make sure we do that, well, I just think we should just stop nitpicking at Craig Brown and get tore right into him. I mean, drive up the edge of mental flaky. Not because it's a well-known fact that Scotland team bosses function better when they have their clue what they're doing.
The anesthesia is wearing off. We are starting to come round from a World Cup soccer-dectomy. What will be the first thing we see? The new, acceptable face of our domestic game? A smiling, beckoning face, clearest souled of the blackheads of bureaucracy, the plooks of procrastination, and the warts of waffle. For changes have been promised that will rock the game to its very foundation creams and cleanse the soccer dermis with the oil of Olé. Olé, olé, olé. A new dawn beckons. A new chapter begins. Another opportunity knocks. and I mean that most sincerely. How spectacular will be our intransigence this season? Let's go round the grounds to find out, starting at Derek Johnson's second home, Ibrox Stadium.
Fair dues, this is what it's all about. David Murray raises the 6th League Championship flag, and of course, given Rangers' magnificent tradition, the flag is raised only halfway up the symbolic leg of the flagpole. So I take Rangers, backed by that magnificent loyal support, to win everything this year. Davy Provan, as a traitor to your religion, I suppose you'll go for Celtic.
Hello, Derek. Yes, Derek. Well, Derek, that is a quality assumption of quality. In the past, we've all had a bit of a laugh at Celtic's expense, but I think this season, Hearts could be the comedy team to watch.
Well, fair dues, early doors. I hear what you're saying, Davy. As a former back four myself, I've always felt Graham Hogg was suspect with crosses, but at Stark's Park he proved suspect with left hooks too.
No doubt about it, Derek. It was a quality punch and a slap in the face to those critics that feel Craig Levein is a bit lightweight, injury prone, and lacks a bit of bottle. This one act of sheer folly could have him back in contention.
As Scotland's next captain.
As Frank Bruno's next opponent. But all credit to the club. Popular new boss, Tommy Hammy the Hamster McLean. Immediately called a conference and met the press face to knee.
Well, to be perfectly honest, I didn't see a thing. What about you, John Robertson?
No a thing, boss.
But make no mistake, they'll be punished, at least 4 of the belt, and then I'll put them on the transfer list, but no sell them.
And still in the capital, Hibs, the High Bees, Hibernian, the men who would be Tims. Home of one of Old Ricky's most famous landmarks, Arthur Duncan's seat, have signed a shirt sponsorship deal with Carler Gas. Without, of course, meaning to be totally cruel, I could say, having seen Hibs in the past, nerve gas would be more appropriate. But I won't. No. If I could just bring in Derek Johnson, I'd be crushed to death because this is a very small commentary box. But there is room for Hibs boss Alex Miller.
Yeah, hello, Chuck. Welcome to Easter Road, a ground where a lot of clubs can find it difficult to pick up points, especially Hibs.
Alex, as an ex-Blue Nose, it must give you the dry bulk having to manage a team that plays in green. But let's move away from the injustices of life. Back to your current home, your ain midden, the aforementioned Easter Road, with its state-of-the-art corrugated iron sheets. Alex, any plans for a new stadium?
Definitely. But first and foremost, I've got to get it right on the park, and that, of course, is down to the players. At the back, well, I don't need to bandy words about your goalkeeper. Jim Leighton's bandy enough as it is. And up front, well, if I can get O'Neill and Evans to fight a bit more and Darren Jackson to fight a bit less, I think we could do something. You see, Chuck, I'd rather win by playing football. Unfortunately, sometimes Darren would rather win by 2 falls, a submission and a knockout,
Alex, no transfer rumours as yet, so I'll start one now. I hear you've got your eye on a 6'4" Hibby who's just finished a humiliating spell down south.
Ah, no, that is an absolute lie. I have not made a move for John Leslie or Blue Peter.
And of course, Hibs' opening game had a somewhat alien ring to it. A 5-0 phasing out of Dundee United. I'll bet you that put Golag's gas at a peep. Dick Donnelly.
Yes. Dick Donnelly here in a gay bloy I'm at Festival City of Edinburgh. That's right, surprise, surprise. I've been let out of Dreich, Dur, Dull, Deadly Dundee for the day. But don't worry, I'm sure my two companions, looking very smart I might add in their white coats, will take good care of me. Now, as for Aldreichy, well, to be perfectly honest, I haven't seen Wallace Mercer. Oh, but this festival is a brilliant thing. In fact, I'm off now to see a musical based on the career of former Hibs chairman David Duff. It's called Fiddler on the Roof.
Hello, Dick. Yes, Dick. Well, Dick, time for your medicine, Dick. Davy Provan here, and with me, United Guru, Ivan Golak. Ivan, man, hardly the perfect start. A quality reaming from a team as duff as Hibs.
Well, that's exactly what I'm just saying to players, you know. I'll be looking for big improvement for European matches, but no. I'm a no-happy man, right? So I fine everyone 2-week wages. That's right, £100 for bad performance. But to looking on bright side of 5-0 humpering, I'm very happy with consistency. We were same level of crap for entire 90 minutes, you know.
If I could just bring in Jim McLean, who's been flicking the V's behind Ivan's back. Jim, any truth in the rumour that you pair hate each other's guts?
No. On behalf of Igor, I would just like to say it's absolute rubbish to suggest that there's any feelings, bad or otherwise, between me and him. And if he doesn't like that, then he can get away back to Serbia.
So that rift, which is like a breath of fresh air, doesn't exist, and everything in the garden is rosy.
Oh, exactly. Everything in garden is rosy and tangerine and purple and psychedelic, man, you know.
Ivan, quality stuff.
Yeah, okay. How much you got?
So with the final scoreline, Hibernian 5, Dundee United infinity, it's back to the studio, Ibrox Stadium.
Well, thanks, Davy. This is what it's all about. A superb Mark Haitley header, a quite stunning Duncan Ferguson trundler, both made by man of the match, Brian Laudrup, who after one game must be the player of the year. Now, judge for yourself tonight when you see it on television.
Derek, do we know for definite the cameras were at the Rangers game?
Well, they usually are. And now it's over, I believe, to one of the new boys.
That's right, and it's an old friend of yours, Derek.
Hi, Terry Butcher here. And what a mouth-watering match in prospect. A real menu for excitement. But if you prefer a menu for a nice meal amidst convivial surroundings, and why not try the Big Terry Butcher Hotel in beautiful Bridge of Allen?
If we could just concentrate on the football, Terry, what a character. Terry Butcher, Captain Courageous, King William Tell, leader of men, remover of doors. yours.
Oh, wait a minute. What's he doing on the show? No, I'm sorry, chick. Unfair dues. I'm the big jovial ex-hun in Radio Clyde. It's as simple as that. Who else have they signed up in the close season?
Hello, yes, David Syme here. It's a very exciting match.
I don't believe it. Unbelievable. David Syme. But I'm the voice of Protestant reason on Clyde. What is happening, Hugh Keevans?
In a nutshell, Derek, quite simply putting it as succinctly as I can, in a word, in a sentence, in an essay, in a soliloquy, in a novel. Oh, and I'm sorry, Derek, Fergus McCann is addressing the Celtic fans at Hampden Park.
Aye. So... Friends, Romans, Seligman, lend me your cash. For it's a grand old team to pay for. Now, you know, I've been in many exotic locations. Canada, America, Kilsyth, Croy. But now I'm come home to rebuild my beloved Celtic.
Fergus, time for a couple of questions.
Sure, Junior, shoot.
Oh!
All right.
Fergus, a few months ago, this club was a ticka-ticka-tim bomb. Waiting to explode. The Celtic faithful were praying in their chapels, wearing down their rosary beads, and robbing their Vincent de Paul boxes. To keep their club afloat. They were facing Tim-ageddon. Then the miracle, and just as Judas and his 12 apostles raised lazy ass from the dead, Brian and his mechano kit reconstructed Celtic. Fergus, yous are jammy bastards.
Yeah, well, thanks, Chuck. But as you know, in Scottish football, if you're going to get on, you've got to make your own luck or make your own lodge.
Great to see you settling in, Fergus. You spoke that paranoia like a native.
Yeah, well, I'm learning all the time, Chico. And I'm happy with the way things are now at Celtic. The rigid stubbornness is gone. We're now attractive, adaptable, and flexible. We're no longer the Biscuit Tin Club. We're now the Tupperware Box Club. Yeah, and I'm sure that Thomas Burns will back me up on that.
Thomas Tommy Burns, a confirmed Kilmarnock man, until you were tempted by the satanic forces at Celtic Park. I hope you went to confession after the way you gave Cully the rubber ear.
Well, this is very, very true. Unfortunately, my move from Kilmarnock wasn't where I would have liked it, but let's be very, very honest. Tapping is something that goes on all the time. In fact, when I was a player at Celtic, I was tapped.
by Kevin Kelly. For 50 pence. I was very, very shocked, but in the end I gave him it. After all, he had watched my motor for me. So.
Tommy, different class, as is your born-again captain, Paul McStay. Hello, Paul. Yes, Paul. Well, Paul, how are things with Celtic now?
There's a buzz about the place. A definite buzz, you could hear it.
Do you think this was to do with Tommy Burns?
No, it was to do with the electric trimmer as I was getting my hair cut.
Paul, do you think this could be a new era or just another false dawn for the club?
Yes, definitely. This could be a new era, or just another false dawn for the club. Definitely, yes.
Paul, what about recent allegations made by someone who shall remain nameless, and I quote, that you couldn't shoot for toffee?
Well, that's true. I couldn't shoot for toffee. It's because I don't like toffee. It makes your fillings come out. I quite like strawberry creams, though.
Paul, that is a quality straight answer.
Who said that about me, anyway?
Dr. Michael Kelly.
Doctor who?
Exactly. So, moving on, Paul, to the international scene. Playing for Scotland.
Oh.
What do you say to those critics who say you can't play in the same team as Gary McAllister?
Well, I just say to those critics who say I can't play in the same team as Gary McAllister that I can play in the same team as Gary McAllister. Because, well, it has been said many, many times before, there's a buzz about the place.
Sheer quality, different class, Paul. And Derek's got a sports flash for us, Derek.
And some late news, Justin. Following complaints from fans about the lack of toilet paper in the bogs at Hampden, Fergus McCann has just placed an order for 10,000 copies of Paradise Lost by Michael Kelly. The question is, will that now make the book a best smeller?
League reconstruction, stadium reconstruction. Work in the Scottish football rebuilding site is in full swing, amidst the growing fear and apprehension that it is already a case of too little, too late. The armchair fan has been forced away from television back to the grounds by the television programs themselves. To understand how this could happen, you only need to watch them.
Hi, Jim White here, and welcome back to Extra Wine, where, of course, the news is that we've lost Gordon McQueen. So, if any of our viewers out there happens to find him, please hand him in to the nearest police station, and there's a £10 reward in it.
Jim.
Sorry, Jerry, trying to say something?
I, in fact, can exclusively reveal that the reason Gordon McQueen isn't here is because he has taken up a coaching job with Middlesbrough.
You're kidding me on, Jerry.
No.
Stop trying to take the piss, Jerry.
Yes? Really? Okay, right. Right, thanks, Dole.
Well, apparently Jerry wasn't kidding. Big Go-Go has up and gone. To Borough, and the Scott Sport camera was there for his first session with the lads.
Right, gather round. Now, as you all know, Middlesbrough is a magnificent club. It's also a big name club, because it's got 13 letters in it. And the manager, Brian Robson, has brought me here for to share my experiences with other clubs like Manchester United, Manchester United, Leeds and Helen Mirren. St. Helen. No. St. Mirren. Now, this is so as we can start to win things like shies and corners and stop-ups and that, right? Because my football philosophy is simple. No. If they score 1, then we'll score 2. And if they score 3, then we'll get beat. Right, doesn't matter, right? You three form yourselves into pairs and we'll start. Right, come on.
God save McQueen, eh, Jerry?
No doubt about it, Jim. Extra wines, losses, Mudley's, Blurrers, Glen.
Sure, Jerry, right. Well, there's certainly been no shortage of movement on the international close-season transfer market. A cool 4.5 million saw Juventus secure the stylish services of Marseille's Didier Deschamps. Dutchman Brian Roy joined Notts Forest in a £2.5 million move. And what about Spurs? Germany's Klinsmann and Romania's Dumitrescu in a 4.6 million double swoop.
Yes, and don't forget, Mother will get Stevie Woods for 75,000 quid.
And of course, Jerry, we've been doing our own bit of transfer business, haven't we, boss?
Well, that's right. My sources tell me that I can exclusively reveal that Alan McAnally will be joining us.
What made you decide to appoint Timbo? Rambo, Jerry?
Because I'm the senior sports editor.
And a great decision it was too, Jerry. Well, let's face it, Jerry, a new season. There's a lot happening, isn't there, Jerry? For starters, it's now 3 points for a win. Do you think this will make any difference, Jerry?
Yes, Jim. I happen to think it will make a difference of 1 point.
Well spotted, Jerry. And of course, this season we've got 2 new boys, Ross County and Caledonia Thingy. Okay, cards on the table, Jerry. Who are they?
Well, Ross County, I do know. He's a smashing young player. Who could easily step up a grade and play for the likes of Forfar or Broth or Aberdeen. Now, Thingme Caledonian, on the other hand, my sources inform me are some mob from the Highland League.
The Highland League? So they're not even from Scotland then? Well spotted. Nice one, Jerry. So, to recap, we've got news, views, intellectual discussion, and a lot more besides, right, Jerry?
Affirmative, Jim. And for racing fans, I can exclusively guarantee that our top tipsters, Jim, won't make a Della Hunt of it. And great news for armchair fans. A new batch of furniture ads from Dougie Donnelly. Hello, Dougie Donnelly here, and welcome to Sports Scene Delirious near Stirling. Oh dear, sorry, wrong channel. And coming up on tonight's programme, an in-depth profile of Dumbarton boss, Murdo MacLeod, where we'll be asking, where is Dumbarton anyway? And we'll be seeing that in just a second. Can we? No, we can't. Yes? Well, here it is. No, it's not. Chick, any idea what else is happening?
Totally no. Not at all. But I do have a special good buddy broadcast for all my fellow St Mirren fans concerned over recent events in Paris. I have been asked by St Mirren Football Club to reassure all the club's fans that although they admit there is a resemblance, Jimmy Bone is definitely not Carlos the Jackal. And with that welcome reassurance in such troubled times, it's back to you, Dougie.
Ah, thanks, Chick. Reassurance indeed, and very welcome news right now, as would be that special report on Murdo MacLeod. Can we? No, we can't. Well, what about the report on motocross that no one ever watches? You seen that? Yes, we can. Well, coming up on tonight's programme, no, we can't. No, we can't. But what I can do is tell you about our quite superb golf competition. Now, as you may or may not know, in a month's time, the inaugural Peter Stuyvesant World Match Play Championship, featuring all the top players, takes place in Hawaii. And we've got 2 tickets to give away for a pro celebrity tournament which starts on the same day in Girvan. And that's just one of the great sporting events we've got to look forward to this winter.
Starting, of course, with European football. Scotland's annual invasion of the continent has always inspired Churchillian passion. Never before in the field of Scottish football was so much blowed by so few for so many. Motherwell had drawn a Diddy team from the Faroes and had humped them. Sconto-Riga had drawn a Diddy team from Scotland and had humiliated them. But a mere 24 hours later, another result was to signal the start of a heavy period of pro-managerial tension, as Rangers had their bad week. The Scottish media response was, as usual, low key.
Archie McPherson here.
Welcoming you to this special edition of Panorama in Action, where I put it to you, the subject for discussion is a glorious club called Rangers. Now, check. Remind us again of just what we're talking about here.
Yes, Archie, total woe. In the European Cup, it was Acropolis now. On the Saturday, it was Tick That. And the following Wednesday, well and truly Falkirked. On top of all that, you had the storming of the Basile and, all in all, you're talking Crisis Club.
Oh, come on, chick, Crisis Club. We are talking national disaster here. Now surely, and I've been saying this for years now, surely Rangers financially can't stand another Euro flop. Now, what I'm reasonably suggesting is that the government must now raise taxes and give the extra money to Rangers.
It's a fair point, Archie. I'm sure the good, decent subjects of Her Majesty wouldn't mind paying that bit extra if they knew it was going to a glorious cause.
Well, no, I'm not being unreasonable, am I? Davy, after all, we are the people.
Hello, Archie. Yes, Archie. Well, Archie, no doubt about it, Archie. David Murray has played a fortune into Rangers' Euro dream. Must be the most expensive fantasy football game in the world. But for me, what will always hold Rangers back is a word that I know they don't like at Ibrox.
Yeah, and that word, Davy, is sectarian.
That word, Archie, is preliminary. But Rangers are not the only business to have lost out on the dosh. Scottish television lost a fortune in advertising revenue, and I'm sure the extra wine team are bitterly disappointed because that's their Milan trip hit in the head. Of course, Jerry McNee will have his own thoughts.
Yes. Jerry McNee here, the voice of a football. The senior sports editor, the man who never shirks a tackle. And I can exclusively reveal that a successful European run was vital, not just for Rangers, not just for my holiday plans, but for the whole of Scotland, because if we continue with these lamentable results, Scottish clubs just won't get into the European Cup.
Too true, Jenny. That's why everyone in Scotland has got to support the football solution and get behind every Scottish team, especially Rangers.
Well, absolutely correct. And I'm sure blasting Billy Boys at 120 decibels out of the Ibrox PA system will do a lot to achieve this.
Too true again, Jerry. I did hear that as I was sitting in the studio on that Wednesday night. The big match itself, starting after Coronation Street. And two things kept bugging me that night. One, is it AEK Athens or AEK Athens? And two, is Des Barnes asking for trouble with Tanya?
Well, I thought, but Hugh Keevins, now, how do you see it?
Yes, it was another black, bogging, bleak, wretched, woeful, ganting, desperately awful European exit night for Rangers. And it pains me to say it.
Oh, Hugh, I put it to you that you were probably hoping the Rangers would get beat.
No, Archie, you're wrong. I was not hoping they'd get beat. I was on my knees praying they get beat.
Hugh, are you telling me that God's a Tim?
Surely, Archie, you're not trying to tell me that you were ever in any doubt as to God's football allegiances. He's a Celtic man through and through.
Well, I put it to you that Glasgow Rangers are a bit more important than God.
Hold the bus! Chick Young here, sticking his neb in uninvited as usual. To point out that if it wasn't for Rangers, there would be no God. Because Walter Smith would be out of a job. But to be honest, I don't expect Radio Clyde to care about Rangers. Not with those initials. And what about the BBC? It's time they started playing God Save the Queen after every programme and rallied to the cause. After all, Donald Finlay can't do it all himself.
Yes, I'm Donald Finlay here, Your Honour. Yes, of course, Your Honour. On the level, brother. There's snow on the roof. Yes, Your Honour. I've instructed Duncan Ferguson to take the Fifth Amendment and refuse to answer any questions on the grounds that he'll probably make an arse of himself. Well, thanks, Your Honour. Your Honour, your tickets are in the post. Walter, just the man. Have you walked around the temple lately? This place is suffering one hell of a hangover. It's like Lark Hall on the 13th of July.
Well, obviously, particularly at the present moment, things are particularly bad. Some loyal burger even threw their scarf at me.
Oh, really? Now, that's terrible, Watty. So, what about Monsieur Bully, then? And the things he said about our tactics, our preparation, our dress code? We just can't have people wandering around telling the truth like that.
At the present moment, I can't accept criticism of tactics, and obviously I will say that, possibly, preparations might not have been, particularly perfect. But as manager of Rangers, what I will not have is anyone criticise our sleeveless cardigans. So I warn Basil, one more misdemeanour, and it's the Broxy Bear costume.
And Dougie Donnelly here saying, you can see more of that fascinating Fly on the Derry's Wall documentary here on BBC Scotland in tomorrow night's edition of Focal Point.
Scottish football, where we love the unpredictability only when it's predictable. When we thrive on the uncertainties, only when they're certain. And where we thrill to the drama of the undramatic. For if all the world's a stage, then Scottish football is currently the community centre pantomime. So how does the play conclude? What is this epic journey's end? Only time will tell if Scotland will, in the final act, rise and be that football nation again, or if it will disappear up its own farce.
Oh, hey, wait,
charming,
hey.
yeah.
Hey, wait. Oh, hey, come on. I can hear voices, confusion, hot talking rubbish. It's like they're recording Spot and Question inside my head.
It's okay, no, I'm saying, just take it easy.
Here, listen, we must have been out for about 2 hours. Have we missed anything?
No, just a couple of idiots talking about football.
See, that's the problem. Talking about football. At least we did something about it.
Exactly right.
What? We travelled through time. We had a look at the future. Came back with the answers.
Oh, no, wait a minute. Sorry to disillusion you, but that was just a dream.
A dream? Aye. So the future is...
Just smear of the past that hasn't happened yet.
So, do you mean we're not going to beat Albania to win the World Cup for a 3rd time in a row?
No.
And we're not going to be the #1 footballer nation in the world? I'm sorry. And we're not going to beat England 7-6 in the final of the European Championship?
Oh, I will do that, all right.